This movie is strongly regarded as one of the greatest Harry Potter movies of all time. Is that your opinion? Let us know down in the comments down below. And if it isn't, tell us why and what is the best Harry Potter movie. As this movie takes us on a magical journey of thrill and mystery and suspense of finding out who the Heir of Slytherin is and who has opened the Chamber of Secrets after so many decades of not being opened. However, before we get into all that jazz, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That would do us a massive favour, and I'd really appreciate it if you could do that for me, please. So I feel Harry Potter 2 was a great way in helping to build on what the first movie did. And unlike several other sequels that aren't needed, this was a book franchise which obviously developed on through every movie and every book that's gone through. So it was obviously necessary to put the second movie in there, and what it did was what I expected, to develop on the characters, develop on the story, and give us more information on the history of Hogwarts, give us more history on some of the other characters, because now we're getting into more of the second year of Hogwarts. I expect more character growth and more character depth than what we had originally, and new characters and things like that, and that's what we got, and that's what I wanted to see from Harry Potter 2, and it delivered in my opinion. I felt from the get-go that with Harry's first interaction with Dobby that something wasn't going to be quite right in the movie. It was going to be a difficult year and quite a hard year for Harry in this second year. As it weren't plain sailing introducing him to the Hogwarts world, this is somebody who's now been at Hogwarts for a year. He's gone away and now he's got to come back after summer to go back to school. And Dobby's warning him not to go back, so obviously something serious must be happening. We don't know Dobby as a character yet. He weren't in the first movie, so we're getting used to this character. We don't know if he's evil or anything. And if you haven't read the books or haven't seen this movie before, you're sort of wondering, what is this character doing? Why is he stopping Harry? What is the reasons for that? And then he gets blocked at the platform 9 3/4 wall where he can't get through to go to the train. So then he flies there and everything goes wrong, and everything seems to be going wrong throughout the year, and he can't understand why, and we as the audience can't understand why these things are happening to him. We just know it's going to build up to something. And then when it is revealed that Dobby did all that to try to prevent Harry from going to Hogwarts because bad things were going to happen, and those bad things were the return of Tom Riddle and the opening of the Chamber of Secrets and the petrification of people and characters in this movie of the basilisk. When people see the basilisk, they get petrified and everything like that. That, to me, was a great storyline, and that was just built through one idea of Dobby warning Harry, and then that leads suspicion and intrigue from your audience, and that was great in my personal opinion. However, something that we are not aware of is the Heir of Slytherin, and we're always thinking on our toes, thinking who is the Heir of Slytherin, with the candidates opening up, and after several more things, the writing on the wall, the bathroom getting flooded, and everything like this, and we're hearing talk of that it could be Draco Malfoy, it could be Lucius Malfoy, then we see that Tom Riddle shows it could be Hagrid, then we see that Tom Riddle could also be a suspect. There's all these potential people that could potentially be the ones that have come back to the school and opened the Chamber of Secrets, and we're sort of figuring out. And what is great about this is that the Philosopher's Stone / Sorcerer's Stone, wherever you're from, also covered this sort of same angle, and I think this is because of Christopher Columbus, who directed the first movie, and I feel he has his fingerprints all over these two movies. Obviously he's the director, but you can definitely feel the transition of these two movies a lot smoother than second to third. And the third movie is one of the best Harry Potter movies, but this style of 1 and 2 are very similar, of that mystery element. Because in the first one, if you cast your minds back, that one was basically the Philosopher's Stone. Who's trying to steal the Philosopher's Stone? Was it Snape? Was it this person? Was it that person? Was it Quirrell? And all the rest of it. I feel that worked in both occasions, and I think they did it better in this movie. Find out who's the Heir of Slytherin, and Harry and the gang basically going on this big Scooby-Doo adventure.
Scooby-Doo this shit!
/ Sherlock Holmes adventure, trying to figure out who it is behind it and then solving it. I feel that the links between the first two movies doesn't end there neither, as I feel that the snake talking to is something that happened in the first movie that a lot of people probably gloss over as just a small thing. But Harry actually talks to the snake in the very first movie, as he basically helps it to escape the cage and put Dursley in sort of the snake compound when the snake gets released, and he sort of talks to him, and the snake talks back to him saying thanks. This was the first time we saw the parcel tongue being used, but it weren't like a fluent language like we see in the second movie, and it is explored upon in this movie due to the fact that I think they went, okay, this is a small idea that we can develop on, and they give us an explanation of why he was able to talk to Snake, not in the first one, but also the second one when they're at the duel, and he's talking to a snake going all this hathy shit and all that. That worked because it was also something that we saw in the first movie, and you can relate back to it. And the explanation was that when obviously Voldemort killed his parents, that we learn about in the first movie, that after that happened, obviously he was going to kill Harry, but then the curse rebounded, but that took part of Voldemort's soul, if you would, that got split into about 8 parts that we learned later down in the line, was actually part of this ability to be able to speak Parseltongue, because Voldemort was able to speak Parseltongue. I feel that the big reveal of Tom Riddle actually being the one who is the heir of Slytherin was a big turning point in the movie, because then you knew Harry was in for a tough battle against Tom Riddle, but then Tom Riddle basically calls upon and summons on the big basilisk that has petrified people all the way through the castle throughout year 2, and that was a great thing to do, because now we have Harry versus a basilisk, which is like David versus Goliath. That battle was great and worked out perfectly for this ending of this movie, as it really helps put a pedigree on who Harry Potter is and what type of wizard he's going to be and how powerful he's going to be later down the line. As a whole, I feel this movie is significant in many ways. And for those thinking, what do you mean by significant? And I mean significant is in, this movie was important and crucial for the franchise of Harry Potter to grow, because this one laid the foundations off for the Horcrux reveals, because obviously the Horcrux don't really get talked about until the 6th movie, Half-Blood Prince. However, this is the first time it is introduced with the Tom Riddle's diary, but we do not know it's a Horcrux. So Harry basically took on a Horcrux and killed and basically destroyed it with a basilisk fang and didn't even know it. And this was sort of like foreshadowing was later going to be in the line and in the pipeline for Harry of destroying these Horcruxes. And I think this was an important step for Harry to go through, and an important thing for us, the fans, to think about later down the line. We just thought it was a small moment of him destroying the book, destroying the Horcrux, but we obviously didn't know of what a Horcrux was until the 6th movie, but that foreshadowing was really, really important. To summarise Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets then, I would probably say this is 9.4 out of 10 and a legendary film, because this is my favourite Harry Potter movie out of the entire franchise. Nostalgia would play into that, I think, and I watched this one probably the most out of any of them. So let me know yours down in the comments down below, referring back to the start of the review where I told you to put down in the comments down below what is your favourite Harry Potter movie. I just want to elaborate on that. Also put the reasons why. Put the reasons why, simply for the fact that we can actually have a proper conversation about this instead of just putting my favourite one is this. Tell me why. Why is it your favourite? Is it because you watched it this amount of times? Is it because of this? Is it because of that? Let me know down in the comments down below, please. Also, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, check out the videos on screen, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Laters.